Hi, welcome back to the Unraveling Podcast. I'm
Good
here with Jamie. Hi,
morning.
Jamie.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
It's cozy here today. It's been raining
Oh,
all morning,
that's nice.
and I was so excited. I was like, okay, I'm so like white girl ready for fall.
I'm
Just
definitely not.
ready. Oh, well, you kind of always are cold, but
Yeah.
in Texas, we don't
Yeah,
get too much,
true.
so
Yeah, it's
I'm
already been
ready.
fall-like here. Today's warm though, so I'm gonna soak it up.
It was like 102 yesterday, and I was
Oof,
dying.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm like, today is so nice, and I put my, whatever you want to call this, my
A little
shacket on.
sweater. Oh, nice. I do like sweater
I'm
weather.
ready.
I'm
Oh, I
all
love
about
it.
that.
Yeah, but when it's like in the negatives, that's a little much.
Yeah. Yeah, when no matter how many layers of socks you're wearing, your toes are
You're
freezing.
just
Yeah.
freezing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've only
So,
had like, oh, we've only had a few days since we've lived here that it's been in the negatives, and I want to just
yeah, like
die. I'm like, I don't
right?
know how you do that. What?
Your first year, that year that there was that crazy
It wasn't the first year, but yeah, that crazy snowstorm in Texas, that was like 2021 or 2.
yeah, I remember
2020?
texting you
I
and
don't
our
know,
other
something like
friend,
that.
and I was always like, "Are you guys okay?"
It was wild.
Like,
And then, like, I think it was either last year or the year before. I think it was the year before. It did get in the negatives again. We had like another snowstorm thing, and it was
sorry,
crazy. And I'm just like, I don't know how people do this. Like, I don't know how you do this on a regular basis.
yeah. Well,
You're like, I don't either.
I don't. I just don't leave my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
But okay. So we wanted to get into biblical cosmology,
yeah, we had a
NASA.
real takeoff that apparently everybody's just into this. So we were hesitating. We weren't going to do one on biblical Earth and NASA, and then we
Mm-hmm.
realized that it is really important. Biblical cosmology, it's
Mm-hmm.
really what made it so I could be more like, okay, they really are lying to us about so much.
Oh, for sure.
So it's
That is
definitely
like
important.
such an eye opener. I feel like if you're not open to that, you're not open to anything else. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, then you're just thinking everything's true
Oh
at
yeah.
that point. So I
Yeah.
do think it is such a huge step. I know
Hmm.
it's funny. I was talking with a family member the other day, and they brought up that, and I just haven't really thought about it in so long that I was kind of like, yeah, it's fine if you don't think that. But they
Hmm.
were even like, I do see a lot, like all the verses in the Bible do lean towards that way. But they were like, they still believe in NASA. And I'm like, but like, you're just
Yeah.
choosing, like, you're
Yeah.
just choosing NASA. I don't know. It is so weird. So it kind of like lit that fire in me again of like, yes, this is so
Yeah.
important, you
Which I
know?
think there's like two camps. There's those. So, like, when my husband found out that people thought this, he was like pissed. And he's like, how could people think that we don't live on a globe? And so he kind
Oh,
of went into
same.
this,
Same
which
for my
he
husband.
was, yeah. And he was like, he already at this point was more of a conspiracy theorist, but he was like, no, I need to look into this. So then he got some books on both sides, I think, and he was just
Hmm.
reading them. And after reading them and going through verse by verse why people thought this, he was just like, I I take back what I said. Like, it has to be. And he's
Yeah.
like, even with my senses, when I go outside, like, this is
It just
this
makes
is just what
sense
you would think. And then
logically.
he tried
Yeah.
to get me on board. Then there's people like, I think more so you and I, where I was like, he would try to convince me, and I was like, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Hmm.
But then, like, the more he'd say things, and then I'd be like, you are right. Like, looking at things in the sky and stuff, I'm just like,
Hmm.
you're right. Something's off. So it's like, I
Hmm.
just feel like there's two camps: the people who come at us on reels who are angry and like, on a scale
Hmm.
of 1 to 10, how stupid are you?
Yeah.
Stupid. And I'm just like,
Whatever.
okay.
I don't
So
care.
we're the ones who aren't believing cartoons are real life.
Yeah.
So,
I'm so
but
sorry. It does
that,
not offend me at all. I'm like, you can call me
no,
stupid all you want. Like, I really don't
no.
care.
And a majority of
It's fine.
people obviously are like waking up to this. So, anyways,
Yeah.
that's what kind of made us want to do it today.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
we're going to start off with a few verses that I think are just helpful to get us in the right mindset. So, do you want to, you could go first, Alyssa, then I'll share the other one.
Uh, the first one I wanted to bring up, and we've talked about this one a lot, is Romans 3:4. Let God be true and every man a liar. I love this verse so much that I got it tattooed on me. So
I
I just
do
think
love
like
it
that's
though.
the basis for everything. It's like
Yeah.
if you understand that, everything else just falls right into place.
Yeah. And then we have Proverbs 30, verse 5 says, every word of God is pure. He is a shield to those who put their trust in him. Do not add to his words, lest he rebuke you and you be found a liar. And then Proverbs 2, 1 through 13, not 1 through 13, just 1. I don't know why I have that. Believers, cry out for understanding and ask God to open the eyes of your heart because truth matters. And
I
that's
really
what,
like that
like,
one. That's such a good
yeah,
one.
because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like even with the little season, I think that it's kind of, some people just be like, just, it's your eschatology, just leave it at that. Like, you don't, it doesn't matter that much. And like, in a
Mm-hmm.
sense, I feel that way too. It's not the main thing. Like, obviously, Jesus Christ dying and raising again and taking our sins is the main thing. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like any truth that has to do with our King, and if
It
it's
should
being
be very
covered up,
important.
yeah, it should be important. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I just really like that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So now we're going to go into the biblically why we believe this, and then we'll kind of get into like science of it.
Yeah.
NASA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to share a picture first so people can kind of, I feel like this picture just really helps you understand what biblically what it's supposed to look like. But this is one of the best representations of what I think that our earth looks like based on scripture. I don't know if you agree, Alyssa.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I was just thinking, like, yesterday I was going on a walk, and I thought it was funny because one of the comments, it's funny reading the comments of people. One of the guys was like, all you have to do is walk outside and you can tell our earth is round. And I was like,
It's like, what?
if you were to never hear of NASA and go outside and use your senses, there is not
You would
any
think it's
part of
flat.
you that would
Yeah.
think that. And
Mm.
if anything, like, yeah, it's like when I go outside, I just feel like I'm in a giant snow globe, you know?
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah, I just love this depiction of it. And it points out everything like scripturally where it says it's at. So that's just to keep a visual. And now we can go over some of these verses that we have. I don't know. Do you want me to go first? Or should
Oh,
we just go? I got tons.
I'm
So,
sure you have tons. As far as, I mean, I guess I have a lot. Joshua 10, 12 to 13. I'm sure you have this one. Talking about the sun standing still. I mean, let me pull it up. Hold on. At that time, Joshua spoke to the Lord in the day when the Lord gave the Amorites over to the sons of Israel, and he said in the sight of Israel, sun, stand still at Gibeon, and moon in the valley of Ahalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stopped until the nation took vengeance on their enemies. And then it says, is this not written in the book of Joshua? The sun stopped in the midst of heaven and did not hurry to set for about a whole day. So it's like if the sun stood still and the moon stopped, it doesn't talk about the earth stopping. It's like
it's
I feel like
also
that's a super clear one. Although I've talked to somebody about this one and they
deny it.
didn't agree. They
Yeah.
just said, "Oh well, it's just written that way." I'm like, every word is intentional. Like it's written intentionally.
Yeah.
The words that
The
they use.
reason it was
So
so shocking the sun stopped is because everyone during that time knew the sun moved.
yeah.
Which
Mm-hmm.
I actually think I was reading that NASA now says the sun is also moving.
What?
It's like crazy because everything's moving while it's moving.
We're just all moving.
It's so wild, but
Oh wow.
um
Okay.
but actually here, let me try to find this quote by an early church father that I was telling you about. Let me get out of that one. It's just so good. So part of like what we were looking at too is just um like when did the globe earth even come about? So we'll also go over some of these early church fathers, what they believed, and then like those who found it, like Galileo and Pythagoras, the Pythagorean theorem, I think is what's up. Okay.
Don't ask me any of these things.
It's funny too. It's just like they're all these mathematicians. I find it interesting when they say stuff like that, because it's almost like the word scientist that we have today. It's like, oh, these mathematicians figured out all these things, and that's why we
Mm-hmm.
know the globe is the globe. But it's almost like this word is used to be like, you aren't a mathematician, you aren't a
So you
scientist, so
can't
you can't
figure it
figure it
out.
out. You're not a
Mm-hmm.
theologian. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like funny how they take these words, and the
I
second you
just feel
hear
like
them,
the whole thing with like all of the science of having to do with the earth,
mm-hmm,
they make it to where it's like, well, these people figured it out
mm-hmm.
and you have no idea what you're talking about.
And that's why science is a religion, because true
It is.
science can be tested. But the
Yeah.
science that most people believe in is just believing what men say is true. They like treat them as their God.
Even like that, I've seen that experiment on Instagram and it's like they put water on a spinning ball
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
see. And
I
it's
did
like,
that with
it's
my
not
oldest
just
son.
staying on there. Like,
Yeah.
that's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
it's like, if it doesn't work here, why is it working there? Like, that makes no
Which
sense.
the definition of gravity is that like a body sticks to the center of like the earth or whatever. And it's like, okay, that
Mm,
does the opposite of what you're saying. It can't be
hmm.
true in space, but not true here. If
That's the
otherwise
thing.
you're just
Yeah.
making up rules and laws so that we can't ever test it on
So you can't
purpose.
disprove it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. This one's really good. Okay. This is a quote by Martin Luther. There's two quotes I want to share. He says, there is talk of a new astrologer who wants to prove that the earth moves and goes around instead of the sky, the sun, the moon, just as if somebody were moving in a carriage or a ship might hold that he was sitting still and the rest of the world and the trees walked and moved by. But that is how things are nowadays. When a man wishes to be clever, he must need invent something special, and the way he does it must need to be the best. The fool wants to turn the whole art of astronomy upside down. However, as Holy Scripture tells us, so did Joshua bid the sun to stand still and not the earth. Which I just
Hmm.
so hear that one, and then this one. Let's see. Sorry. I'm so mad that they deleted off my thing because they were
That's
so
so annoying.
good. Okay, here it is. Okay, this is by, his name is Melanchthon.
Hmm.
Um, he wrote something called The Elements of Physical Science. Okay, the eyes are witnesses that the heavens revolve in the space of 24 hours, but certain men, either from the love of novelty or to make a display of ingenuity, have concluded the earth moves. And they maintain that neither the eighth sphere nor the sun revolves. Now, it is a want of honesty and decency to assert such notions publicly, and the example is pernicious. It is the part of a good mind to accept the truth as revealed by God and to acquiesce in it. But the two things I love about both these quotes by
Mm.
both these men, early church fathers who believed, and I don't know if he's a physicist or what this guy was, but um, what I love is that they're saying like it's just like man to like, okay, we want to come up with something new, we want to be known for something, so let's just say the earth moves and we're mathematicians, so we could prove it even if you can't.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I just love that, like he says, either from the love of novelty or to make a display of ingenuity have
Mm.
concluded the earth moves. So like basically just like you're just doing this and saying this because you want to make yourself known.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
that's so
there is
crazy.
countless like this. I was looking up church fathers and people who believe that the earth was flat, and it just goes on and on. And not to say there aren't some who, believed otherwise, but
But yeah,
um,
I mean, it's just like biblically,
hmm
you're not going to come to that conclusion. You're
yeah.
just not.
And that's what I loved. Like most of the quotes I found from early church fathers was like, biblically, this is what it says. So if you're going against this, you're going against God. Like you can
Hmm.
say that all you want, but if you are a believer, I think that's the point that Alyssa and I kind of want to make too. If you are a believer, you have to ask yourself, like Alyssa's family member who says it does seem through the Bible that it would lean more towards like a flat earth, then you have to ask yourself, do am I believing what man says because he's given me
Hmm.
proof, or am I
Hmm.
believing that God is
Hmm.
trustworthy and his word like is true?
Right. There was a quote I was listening to Josh Monday talk about this, and he said, anything that doesn't match up with the Bible, that's demonic. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's true. It's like you're choosing something. This isn't from God. So if it's not from God, then what's it from? You know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the man's intention wasn't pure in like
Mm-hmm.
creating this. Like, no,
Yeah.
what they were trying to do was take you away from believing there's a creator. And, you know, it's like they want
Yeah.
to point you to evolution and say that they can, I don't know, it's just like it puts them at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Yeah.
if we just believe God, it's like, oh, that makes sense. Like
And
that's
it
what he
makes
said.
us less special. They went from Earth is the center and everything's revolving around it because God made us and he want, everything else revolves around us, but now it's the
Hmm.
sun, which is sun
Hmm.
worship, and it's like it
Hmm.
just takes away what God has made special, and that's us. And like if you're listening and you don't realize that, like NASA and all the elites, they're taking away from, like, God made you special and he died for you, and they're trying to take that away from you,
Hmm.
you know
Right. Hmm.
um and it just like so crazy when I was researching more yesterday. NASA's website is just filled, like that's all it's filled with, is everything opposite of what God's word says. And it's crazy. And that's one of the things Alyssa and we have talked about in a reel. But I mean, you go from verse 1 of the Bible, Genesis 1:1 says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And then you go to
NASA, and
NASA.
they said the sun was created
Yeah, it says
first.
the sun was first. It's the oldest thing there was. And they, when I was reading yesterday, they basically were saying, like, we know the sun was because the sun is like the focal point of our universe.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's weird because that's
And
not
that's
what God says.
why, right. And that's why it's the heliocentric model, because it's
Mm-hmm.
based off of the sun, like it's sun worship.
Mm-hmm.
And then also going down to verse 16 in Genesis, it's talking about how there's two lights. Here,
Mm-hmm.
let me just pull it up. Because NASA tells us that the sun gives light to the moon, correct? Is that what we're taught?
Mm-hmm.
And so in verse 16, it says, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. So it's like the moon does have a light because that's what it says in the Bible. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like right off the bat, there's two things that NASA's already lying to you about. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
right off the bat, you have to decide, like, you're ultimately choosing one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think many people see it that way.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
And I
but it's like
think
that is what you're
too,
doing.
the problem with a lot of globe earthers is they hear flat earth and they envision we live on this like square and it just drops off. But that isn't
Yeah.
it. Like our
Yeah.
belief is, and if you look at old maps and you look at the UN logo, they have Antarctica surrounding,
Mm.
and it's like bodies of water have to be contained. So the reason we have this huge ice wall, the reason we're not allowed to be in Antarctica, the reason every country is a part of this Antarctic treaty is because there's something there we're not allowed to see. And is it possible that that is the container for our
Mhm.
water surrounding us?
Mhm.
And like they've changed all the maps so that it looks like Antarctica is just at the bottom, but that's not the case. So
I think
when
that's another really big thing too is the Antarctica Treaty. It's like,
mm-hmm,
again, that person I was talking to didn't even know that was a thing, and I was like, you
mm-hmm,
can literally look it up on Google. Every single country in the world is a part of this treaty,
mm-hmm,
and nobody is allowed to go there.
yeah, you'll
Yes,
be
they
shot.
allow you'll be shot, or you'll
Yeah.
go to jail, or you'll be fined crazy amounts of money, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
unless you sign up. So like
For this
apparently you
like
can
little patch of Antarctica.
you have to spend so much money, and they'll just select a few people
Mm-hmm.
to go on it, and it's
Yeah.
like there's a huge cover up if the entire world is in on
Yeah.
something. And if you don't think that's a fact, you can look it up yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
And
think
that's
that's
just
huge.
like the fact that all the maps have changed, like to show,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
UN shows you. And that's the thing, is they put it in your face so often. Like even people who believe in space say things and then I think they regret it. Like I posted a reel of
Mm-hmm.
Bill Nye yesterday. We all know he's a glober, and he even he said, you cannot leave Earth because there's a
Mm-hmm.
firmament. Genesis 1:6-8 says, and God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters and which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. But the word firmament, like if you look up the definition, it has to be like when it's describing it, it's it's not penetrable. It's holding
Yeah.
waters above.
It's
So it has
firm.
to be strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we know that. And that's what is it? Operation Fishbowl, right? Is like the
Mhm.
whole reason they're calling it Fishbowl is because that's what they know we live in.
Yeah.
I would really love to do a second part of this. I just came across, like, if you go to government websites, there is document after document after document from NASA and just with the government that says the Earth is not round. Like,
Really?
I mean, it's stuff you can look up, and that's the problem, I think. But we'll have to, obviously, I'll have to look that up and prove it to
Mm.
everybody because you're going to want proof. But um, it's just that it's always hidden in plain sight. Like, you can't
Yeah.
look up the truth. They always have to operate in
Mhm.
truth. So the truth is
Mhm.
always available
Yeah.
for us, you know,
Right.
but we have to be willing to look, you know.
Mhm.
But the firmament, it's just like, I mean, we should show a video right now. The firmament, you can see it multiple times with the rockets. And this is what's kind of crazy. And like, I just start to wonder, like, nobody questions these things because I always
Mhm.
wondered, is like, growing up and you see the rocket launches. Let me get,
And
there it
in
is.
is it in California? Like they're all the time, or
The
is it
rocket
not there
launches.
anymore?
I know it's
Because
in
SpaceX,
Texas too.
but now it's yeah. But is it only in Texas now? I don't ever
I
see
don't
any
know. But I mean, you
because it's
watch
like
them, they
down
literally
south.
go like this, you know? They're
Yeah.
following the curve, the not the curvature,
What's
sorry,
that?
the firmament.
I've seen videos of like the sprites. Is that what they're called when
Mm-hmm.
they hit the firmament and then it
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah, that's
you
what I
see it like
think I have a
the
video
I
of.
think those videos are so fascinating. That
Okay,
was
let me
like I
try to
loved watching
find
those.
it.
See far away.
This music is intense. I think that
That's so
is,
crazy.
yeah, that's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah. I've seen
Yeah.
videos too of them like hit like rockets hitting the firmament and it's like I don't know, looks crazy. It's like ripples
Mm-hmm.
coming off of
Yeah.
it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like obvious, like it's so obvious. And I don't even know, I've never looked up what they try to say, the excuses of that. Like, they always have something to say.
I know they always have something. I have no idea though.
Okay.
It's
Well,
just funny.
going
Like
on
if you
that,
talk to somebody who doesn't agree with us, like it's
hmm
just funny the
then they'll
excuses
always
they'll
have an
have for
excuse. Yeah.
every single thing. It's like,
Especially, I
okay.
think I just have the hardest time with believers because, like, why do you not want to try? If something might be contradicting what the Bible says, like, why don't you want to look into it?
It's very strange.
Okay,
Mhm.
here's another one. This is talking, just going off of the firmament, which is mentioned multiple times in scripture.
Mhm.
But the stars, they're always, NASA has what they tell us are stars. I thought this video was so good, and I've heard this before. But when you look at them with telescopes, it looks like lights underwater,
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh
so let
yeah,
me
the
share
stars
this
videos are
one.
so good. This was in that long video too.
I think, yeah, it was. Yeah.
I feel like this was like the first thing that made me think like, oh, maybe there is
This
something
is
to
off.
this.
Yeah.
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 Here, this is actually a star. This is a close-up of what a star really looks like under a very high-powered zoom camera. Now, I just saw this video and I want you guys to see this. So check this out right here. Now watch this. So Buddy's just literally flashing his light on a bowl of water here. Look at this. Look at the reflection. Water. This is what it is. This is quite literally what the stars actually look like. All of these. Now, what's interesting about this is all of our ancestors told us that we live under a firmament and that there's waters above this firmament. The Bible, this is mentioned many, many times. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. It's as above, so below. The stars are all frequencies of light within the waters above the firmament, just like we've been told by all of our wisest ancestors. Stop listening to fucking NASA. They are just deceiving humanity, hiding God's true creation. You need to look within for the real answers. Peace and love. All right, I want to show you guys something here. This is...
Okay, my apologies with the profanity. There might be a few of those in here, I don't know. But the point is, that's the thing. This is science. You can test it and see.
Yes.
And I think that's where it's just like kind of mind blowing. And that's where you can tell when science is a religion to people, where it's, you're not thinking of it as the testing and the, making hypothesis and testing that hypothesis. You're looking at it as just, these men have told me what it is, and that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like every single thing we've been talking about goes hand in hand. It's like, again, they want to get you in school so they can tell you what it is. So you don't have, so you're not questioning. Like, the quicker they get you in school, the quicker they could give you these answers. And then the quicker you learn them, like the earlier as a child that you learn them, then it's like, oh, this is fact. And you don't question it the rest of your life. Like, literally the rest of your life. You can be 70 years old and you are like, die hard, like, this is what it is. Because that's what you learned when you were 4 or 5.
At this point, they could come right out and say we faked the moon landing, and I think there'd still be boomers that are like, no, it was real. I saw it with my own eyes.
So yeah, it's so intense how hardcore they are. But I feel like I've heard that like more people like our age or younger are starting to like question
I think
it.
So.
Like,
and like I said, it all goes back to that. Like, you have to think, like, my parents' generation watched that on the TV happening. Right. So it's that emotional attachment to it,
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go back and go through a couple more verses. Oh, here's one I just can't. This isn't the one I was thinking of, but this one I just was listening in church and I just thought it was fascinating. Keep in mind the model that we showed you at the beginning. Under the earth would be like Sheol. And they're always talking about the creatures of the middle of the earth, which is interesting, but or beneath the earth. But Philippians 2:10 says that at the name of Jesus, every knee should bow, of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth. And I was just like, why would it say under the earth? It would say inside the earth, if anything, if it was a globe.
Because it's like under would just be outer space. Like, there's just no verse. Like, give me one verse that says it's a spinning ball.
Besides the circle verse, which a circle, as we know, can be...
It's not a sphere.
It can be a disc.
But it's not a sphere.
Yeah,
that's two different things.
Okay, let me find out.
What was I just going to say?
The one about clay as the one I wanted to share too. That's the one that was one of the first ones that someone shared with me that I was just like, why can't I find it? Let's see.
Dang it, I was about to say something and I just cannot remember what I was going to say.
It's just, we need to just like keep a board up and chalk down every time we can't remember something.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Job 38:14 is the verse I mentioned. I know this is one of the first ones that I heard and I was like, wow, like, okay, that's really descriptive. So Job 38:14, the earth takes shape like clay under a seal. Its features stand out like those of a garment. The earth takes shape like clay under a seal. For anybody who's ever seen somebody writing a letter and they put their seal on the letter and they push their seal down on it, it rises up. Just like we were saying about the Antarctica.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, being, the container of the earth. And you have to, this is the thing too. So I was saying earlier, like a lot of globe earthers will think when we say flat earth, even if they like go along with us saying Antarctica goes around the whole earth, then they're going to say, if you are allowed to go in Antarctica and you go to the ends of it, you're just going to fall off. That's where the firmament comes in. It's like the firmament is holding us all inside. I mean, you have to picture it like a snow globe. I mean, really.
Right. I think, and I've said this before, but like the way Genesis describes creation is so detailed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know exactly what he created when he created it. So, if he's so descriptive, why in the world would he not say, then I made everything start spinning and then I made the planets and like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, all these things. It's like
Yeah.
he's so descriptive and he wants us to understand these things. So if he
Mm-hmm.
didn't say them, it's probably because that's just it's not part of the Bible, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's
Yeah.
interesting because it's like so long ago, like that was just the norm. Like that's what people
Mm-hmm.
believed in. And now it's like this newer thing that started in when did this start? Like the
Well,
1900s?
Pythagoras.
1800s? Again,
So Pythagoras
1800s.
was the first to say this, and that was,
Am I right? Is it the
hold on,
1800s?
I think so. Let's see. When did, let's see. So Pythagoras was 500 BC, they say.
Oh, okay.
But
So
the
wait.
idea with Copernicus wasn't until later. And that's
Yeah,
when it
because I
really
thought it
started
was
taking
like
hold.
a lot later. Because
Yeah.
I've even seen like video like this video of this like lady like an old lady a really long time ago and just saying like how their books were taught like in school they were actually taught that the earth was
Mm-hmm.
flat and then like there was a time when they came and they took all the books away like they wouldn't even let them have the books anymore and that's when they changed everything.
Yeah. Well, Copernicus
But
didn't bring this. He got his idea from Pythagoras, but he didn't bring it
mm,
about. He didn't like start talking about this until the 1500s. But I think
okay, that's what I thought. It was like
a
1500s.
lot of people dismissed him as like, you're crazy and you're ungodly
Mm-hmm.
and demonic. So, and
Mm.
he was involved in mysticism. And that's funny you say that because before Alex's Abuela passed away, she was a month away from turning 102. But before she passed
Oh
away,
wow.
he asked her, um, Abuela, when you were in school, like, what did they teach you about the earth? What was the shape of the earth? And she said, same thing, that it was flat.
Dang, that's
Yeah, which
crazy.
I wish we would have talked to her about it more, but
Yeah, that's so
she
crazy.
was funny and sassy and probably would have been like, this is dumb. But
Yeah, but it's like the Bible. Okay, so Psalm 104:5. You fix the earth on its foundation so that it can never be moved.
mm-hmm,
Psalm 96:10. He has fixed the earth firm and immovable.
mm-hmm.
So
First Chronicles
why
16:30 says, fear before him all the earth, the world also shall be stable, that it not be moved.
it's like why would it say over and over and over again if that's not what he meant? That's the thing that gets under my skin is it's
Mm-hmm.
just like everybody's like you're taking the Bible too literally. I think that's the way he wanted us to take it. He didn't make God is not a God of confusion. He
Mm-hmm.
wasn't trying to confuse us and say everything the opposite of what he meant.
Yeah.
That is
Let
not
me
his
trick you and see
character.
if you guys are smart enough to figure out
That's
what I
not his
really mean.
character. Like so it's weird to me when people are like, "Oh, you're just taking it so literal." And it's like
Mm-hmm.
I
I
like I don't
mean,
even know how to respond to that. Like I'm so
yeah.
sorry that I trust his words so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I just find that so odd. He made it so clear.
Mm-hmm.
We might not know the exact shape, but we know for certain that it's not spinning in space at hundreds and thousands, which it spins at, where is it?
It's
The
like
Earth orbits the
66.
sun at 666,600 miles per hour.
Yeah. You know what I found interesting when I was looking up about
Okay.
all these like Pythagoras and all these Galileo, all these men who came after, they're mathematicians, they're interested in mysticism. They really
Mm.
introduced numerology because in the ancient days, like they weren't using like I'm not gonna they were using mathematics like adding and subtracting and stuff like that, but they weren't coming up with these like what do you call those? I'm so bad at math. The different things you
Equations?
follow, equations and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I
But
got it.
like
Cool.
so they're introducing these people were introducing numerology, which we know like a lot of numerology is used in the occult and like Satanism and stuff. So they really were just introducing all of that, and that's what Satan wanted because they were flipping everything God created And then now they're bringing it to science and numbers, and we could figure this out. Like,
It's just
I
like
think that's
goes
what it
back.
comes down to.
Goes back to the same thing. It's the same thing with pastors who go to seminaries and think we went to seminary, we know how to interpret the Bible more than you do. It's just like they put all these big titles on things just so that everybody will just follow.
Even
like, okay,
NASA's like, if you question anything with NASA and you go and look up like their reasoning, they use a bunch of words that, like, honestly, I don't think most people even know what they're saying, but they're like, oh, they figured it out. I don't really know what that means, but obviously they figured it out. And that's, like we said, the mathematicians, the scientists, the theologians, they've all been in school, and they're so intelligent. We can't question them because they know what they're talking about. Well, they give you those names and stuff because that's exactly what they want. They want you to feel inadequate and not question anything.
Right. I just think it's crazy. And like talking about all how fast everything moves, it's like it's moving like, so it's like the Earth's orbiting the sun, right? And then like the moon is orbiting
too.
Us. Like there's like 3 different things happening at the same time. They're all moving faster
in the Milky Way.
They're spinning faster than a bullet even goes by, like 30 times. And yet we're just sitting here still. Does that make logically, every single human in this world can say that doesn't make sense logically. So if your common sense is that easy to figure out, that a child is like, what?
I mean, we went over this too, like, in order to get through, at least is what NASA says, they'd have to be going at like Mach 10, I think it is, right? And it's like they've done tests without people in it. We'd said this in one of our earlier podcasts, but like, so I don't, if I'm misquoting the actual numbers, I'm so sorry, but it was like they did a test at like Mach 4 or something, and pieces of the thing were falling off. So it's like, do you really think we could go that fast? These people are hurtling into space, going that fast at a speed that should quite literally kill them, on top of the fact that everything's moving and they're moving, and they're just supposed to land perfectly.
Like, it was a really good point. I think it was another Instagram video that I saw when we were looking at everything. This is such a good one. Okay. If a helicopter is flying up and just hovering, and then say it's hovering for an hour, it's just hovering in the same spot, and then it comes back down. How could it be in the same spot? Like the Earth would have moved because it's spinning so fast. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it doesn't make logical sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's just funny because it's like when you first hear it, like most people's reactions, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so stupid. But then you're just like, the more you look into it, you're just like,
like everything
the other way makes no sense. Yeah, like, I mean, it really doesn't.
We've talked about this before. They just had the fair here, so this reminded me of it. But that ride, they have it at Castle Park. Did you ever go to Castle Park?
I did, and I got sick on every ride there. I hated it so much.
It's pretty ghetto, but
I never went on the ride you're talking about, though, because I knew I would just die.
But it's like, that's how, like, everything we can test says the opposite of what the Earth is. That all the water, everything's sticking to the Earth as it's spinning.
So that ride you're talking about, it spins, and everybody goes to the outside. Like, they don't go to the inside when you're spinning. So it's like
another, I think I talked about it last time, I peed my pants on that ride. Another traumatic. The only stories I remember of my childhood are the traumatic ones. Yeah.
No, one time I went to Castle Park with so we had these family friends. She's not listening, I'm sure. But the daughter, she was like a little bit older than me. I just always thought she was like the coolest. So if you're ever listening to this, I'm talking about you, Alicia. I thought she was so cool. And like they invited me to go to her birthday that day at Castle Park, and I was like, I get sick on every ride, but like I wanted to go and be so cool. And so like I did all the rides, and I was like literally the most sick I've ever been in my whole life.
Just throwing up with somebody else's parent.
Like I'm just like dead the rest of the day. Yeah, I was so sick, and I was like, I'll never go back to Castle Park ever again.
I'm so glad that I don't get sick on that stuff. That's how my husband is too. Like,
it's the worst.
Dead. Yeah. But I wanted to show some videos, like, just I mean, if people are already questioning things, I think most people who are following us probably already think this way.
Yeah.
But here's the thing is like Hollywood puts it in your face. There is a firmament. It's like time and time
Yeah.
again. So I found a movie compilation again. I don't think there's any cussing in it, but just in case, I'm so sorry. But just so you can see that they're putting it in your face. They want you to know that they know, but they want you to think the opposite. And it's like
Yeah.
they're laughing at you. That's what I thought was funny too. A lot of the comments on that reel were like, you know, how dumb we are. And I was just thinking, like, if you only knew the top of the people at NASA and Satan, they're just watching you, like, believing all this nonsense. Like, all these things
I
we just
know.
listed, there's like endless things. And we haven't even, we're like barely scratched the surface. There's more
Yeah.
things we want to show you guys.
Honestly.
But it's like they're just laughing in our faces. Okay, so let me share this.
That's why I'm 0% offended when anybody laughs at me for thinking this way. I'm like, I don't care.
We know, because we know the truth.
Don't care.
Okay, let me get it so it's more full screen. All right. Let me turn this down a bit too. That was very loud before.
It was very loud. Do you know what movie this is?
I'm not sure what this one is. I think it goes through a bunch of them. Okay, wait, this is not. Oh yeah, this is it. It's terrifying.
Oh.
I mean,
Interesting.
I don't think he'd be able to get through it.
It's the World Series, 2-out bottom of the ninth. And Homer Simpson, fresh off an anxiety dream about not studying for a high school test, come into this dream and knock one out of the park. We're back. It's a long fly ball going back. And the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium. Now we'll be right back after this word from oxygen, which Homer desperately needs to live.
Homer, the roof is leaking. Water's coming.
Earth is flat and there's a dome above us all.
I've never seen any of these movies.
You've never seen this movie? Oh,
Is this
my
the Truman
gosh,
Show
it's
or
so
something?
Good. I love the Truman Show.
I've never seen it.
Jim Carrey's crazy, but I love a lot of his movies.
I love Jim Carrey.
It's so I'm gonna go through some of these just because save us a little bit of time. I think that might be the last one. But there's tons. I mean, there's tons on there that show. Even just like the Hunger Games when they're inside the
I've never seen that either.
what? When they're inside
I'm
when
not
they're
a movie
inside
person.
the gaming thing, like she shoots I think her bow and arrow or something and it hits. But they're supposed to be inside, like where the games are happening. But it's just like time and time again, I feel like they show us that, you know.
Yeah. For sure. I think they show us all these things just to make you think like, oh, it's just fake. It's in a movie.
Mhm.
Like, yes, they're
Yeah.
laughing at us, but they're also like just making you think, well, if they're showing it in a movie, it's not real.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no.
But it's interesting too because it's like you think of the story of Noah's Ark and it talks about the floodwaters coming down and like it makes so much more sense that it would have just, you know, the waters above came down.
Well, and it says, doesn't it say like the water was released or like the water came from below first? And then
yeah, you know, I was just seeing
like
something about craters
3 different
too.
things.
That all these craters around the world. I've heard some people say they think it's the angels that fell, but people are saying these craters, it's like maybe that was the wellspring of the waters from the floods.
I'm trying to think.
Which
I feel
thought
like
was
I haven't
interesting.
marked down.
I also wanted to, I'm going to actually share this one part one more time because I want people to have a visual of this. When he is in the sky like this, and you can see right before this part. I mean, I think they're still showing in this one, but they're showing that there's waters.
They're showing
But
what?
they're still showing the waters above in this one.
Oh yeah.
But I was also like going all through NASA. I don't think I saved these clips, but it's of them saying over and over like how they cannot. Oops, sorry. Let me turn that off. How they cannot leave low Earth orbit. Like over and over again, they say that. Like we're working on making it so we can leave low Earth orbit. And so to me, I think they can. They get a certain distance, like above, like our Earth, you know, but they're not getting to the heavens. Gosh dang it.
I have, it's Genesis 7:11. It says, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and then the windows of heaven were opened, and then the rain fell upon the earth. So it's like there's three different parts. It's like the great deep burst, and then the windows of heaven were opened, and then the rain fell on the earth. So it's just interesting. Like we always are taught, oh, it just rained. It just rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And it's like, there's no way that would be, you know what I mean? Like logically, you needed a lot more water for that.
Yeah,
but
for the entire Earth to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so crazy. But it's so interesting. I love reading through Genesis, like again. And like now that we like are just more aware of things, it's just so interesting.
It just makes everything more interesting.
It really does.
Yeah. I'm going to show, I feel like we're showing a lot of videos, but I feel like they're so, I'm debating which ones I want to share. But okay, let's go with this one. Just because we want you to be aware of how NASA lies continually.
Yeah.
A lot of people have heard of the Challenger. This video I'm showing isn't from the documentary I saw, but when I saw the documentary, I can't remember what it's called. I want to say it was like, gosh dang it, what was it? I don't know. I'll find it. I know my husband knows them, and I'll like, if people want to know what they are, just message us, and I'll figure it out, and I'll get them sent to you. But I'm going to share this one about the Challenger that exploded. Again, this was something that was on TV, so it emotionally attached all these people so that they were experiencing trauma.
Claimed to be his identical twin brother, Claude. Yeah, I've got an identical twin brother, Claude, too.
Sorry, I want to make sure.
The Challenger pilot, Mickey Smith, hasn't even bothered changing his name. He's now Sir Michael J. Smith of University of Wisconsin. Now, Krista McAuliffe was a bit of a sneaky one. She was the Challenger payload specialist, quite famous for being a teacher. It turns out during her astronaut days, she was using her middle name, Krista. And now she goes by her first name, Sharon. And she's a Syracuse law professor. The Challenger commander, Francis Richard Scobie, is now Dick Scobie, which sounds like a rather unpleasant disease, CEO of News Limited. Judith Resnick, the Challenger mission specialist, again hasn't even bothered changing her name. She's a professor at Yale Law. And finally, Ronald McNair, another Challenger mission specialist, claims to be his identical twin brother, Carl McNair. What are the odds?
What are the odds?
1986.
What's funny too is like their twin brothers and things were not ever at any of like when they took off, they weren't there with them, you know. It's just the statistically speaking, all of these people having either a twin or someone out there who looks identical to them with the same name, that's just not possible.
It's like all it takes is one of them to be real and the whole thing is fake.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Only one.
And there was something that came
So-
out, and if someone knows for sure where this was said, but like in the Challenger spacecraft, there is like an emergency hatch or something at the bottom of it. And so I heard people saying that it is possible, because they like saw them getting into it, but they go down into it and that portion didn't take off and they were safe in there. I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
it's
all
like
crazy.
it wouldn't even be possible for all these people to, like, statistically, and it's like
Right.
they get paid big bucks, they get to live a nice life, and they're all part of the cult. That's the thing, they don't mind lying because they probably were born into
Right.
it, or they just don't care because that is their religion. Like they think they're
Mhm.
taking one for the team. It's no different than the like people who like put bombs on themselves in the name of like
Yeah.
Muhammad or whatever, like they think
Mhm.
they're doing their God a favor.
I know. It's
Um,
so crazy. I
it
feel like there's
is.
so many videos. We should just like post
Oops,
some of
sorry.
them like on our stories because there's just
Oh
so
yeah,
many.
there's so
I
many.
think like the videos, like there's so many videos
Mm-hmm.
of them in space and you literally see like their wires or whatever because it's
Mm-hmm.
like they're hanging
Oh
and it's
yeah.
like over and over again. Or like for example, the whatever those two people that were just supposedly stuck in space for like 9 months and yet they had Christmas gear
And they
in there
had
and they were
someone also
and
that
they had
was
someone come
going
up
and dropping goods
and
off. It's like, so
let
you could get up there to drop off goods, but you couldn't
but
take
like
them
he
back.
literally went inside of like the spaceship thing with them and then just
Yeah,
left them there. Like if he could get off, why
I
that
know.
can
They
we
said there was no
please?
room in the thing to go back
Okay,
down.
then I don't know. Like figure out a way to send it
Crazy.
up there.
You get billions of dollars a year. You could create another spacecraft to go
Yes.
up and save them.
Like if you think that's real, like let's use our common sense. I just think it's so crazy. Like we cannot buy that. If they were supposed to be up there for like it was like 10 days
Mm-hmm.
and then they have Christmas gear up there
Well,
and it was
they'll
nowhere
just
near
say, "Oh,
Christmas.
we dropped it off." That was one of the
It's
packages they
just
had
like
delivered.
or like even their coming down was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Like I was watching a
Yeah,
movie.
it was very
So it's just
AI.
like all in all, nothing that they do looks real, nothing's believable.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel like so many people are waking up to it. And that's why they did that whole girls' space trip, whatever that they just
Yeah, but
did.
that
Because it's like,
backfired on them too because of the
it
hatch
did, but
door
it's
and
like
like,
they used all the people of like our time, like Katy Perry and stuff like
mm-hmm.
that, so that we'd be like, okay, Katy Perry went up. And it's like, no, like she's crazy. Obviously, she's just crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just like they just think that they can just keep doing whatever they want and we're just gonna
Mm-hmm.
believe them. And it's like more and more people are waking up to all these lies at
Yeah.
this point. So I don't know.
Well,
It's
and
just
they just use people. We talked about in another one um, about how it's possible that theory about the men who went on the moon were from Alcatraz.
oh yeah.
And there, if that was true, it's like, of course they'd be stoked. They're getting to leave Alcatraz. Sure, you want to send us to the moon? I'm sure they didn't get told the full story. And then you see
I
the
know.
interview of them when they get back from landing on the moon, and they all look so downcast. And I feel like it's more so because it's like, okay, you were taken out of prison. If that's true, you're taken out of prison. You think you're going to gain some kind of freedom, but now for the rest of your life, you have to like live this lie.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, almost all of them on there have been caught saying things like
Mm-hmm.
Buzz Aldrin
Yeah.
tons of times. I mean, I just don't even think he cares anymore. He doesn't matter to him. He's like, whatever.
He looks like he's just lost his mind. Yeah.
But like that interview when they get back is so sad. And it's just like, if you had gone to the moon, the way Katy Perry came back down, which again, just so dumb, but she was so excited. Like she just accomplished this great thing. That is not how these men returned. Why?
Yeah.
Why didn't they? Because
That's
they
true.
knew they just lied to the entire world.
Can you imagine?
And they're going to have to live with that. Not
Yeah.
even the Katy Perry one cracks me up because they show like people going through the space simulators and like you're going so fast, like your skin's like going like this. And she's going up and she's just like,
I know. It's like so fun.
dumb.
It's so dumb.
Oh my
But I mean, like,
gosh.
I think even people to still believe in the moon landing is crazy. How in the world are they making phone calls to the moon in
How'd they fit that
1969?
little go-kart on the thing that
How
they were
do they fit
riding?
that? Oh my gosh. Did you send it or post it, that video of them shutting the door to the
Oh,
spaceship and it's
yeah.
like flimsy? I was like, oh my gosh. But it's just like ridiculous. Like, think about that. Like 1969. Who's taking that video of them going? They're leaving the
Mhm.
moon now. Who's taking that video? They're not going back to get it. Like they didn't
No.
leave a camera there and came back. Like
Yeah.
I don't, it's just like all in all, the lighting, the shadows, the
Mhm.
flag. There's so many things. It's not like it's just like, oh, that one thing was weird. No,
Yeah.
it's like the entire video is weird.
Yeah. And it's
So,
like they had a Nikon camera that you could zoom in very well to the moon.
mm.
And I think they took it off the shelves. I think they even like paid people to
Oh,
put it in or
yeah.
something.
I don't
But
think they
like
made them turn them in, but yeah, they did stop selling them.
you can, I'm sure you Globers will be like, you really think you could still see the American flag from there? But it's like if you could zoom in, the detail that was on some of these cameras of the moon,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
I don't
know.
see why you wouldn't be able to see the flag on there.
Right.
I mean, it's possible the flag fell off. Maybe it fell off into outer space
But
after all
like,
these years.
there's no like breeze. Like it's still,
I
right?
know.
I would imagine outer space is very still. Then
If
why
it
would
was
there be a
real, yeah.
breeze? If it was real, this is what I'm imagining, okay? But like, how would it have moved? Even the fact that it was flying in the video, it's like,
I know.
how is it? How is it moving? Like,
I also just like it's just so interesting. I mean, they have, their underwater practice areas. They have their zero gravity practice things. It's like, okay, you're showing us you have all this technology to do this here, to film this here, to create the same
right? Exactly.
environment here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And then you get videos where there's one where there's like a fly caught in the video on the
Oh, yeah.
satellite and the
Mhm.
mouse that was on the satellite. And I just was looking it up today, and NASA's like, there was something moving on the satellite, but you can tell that this has been altered to look like a mouse. It's like, well, what was it
Okay.
then? Explain it to us.
Hmm.
That's the thing, is they always have an answer, but they're never willing to like explain.
I wonder what they would say about them being like the number one buyer of helium in the country. Or is it the world? I don't know. They buy so much helium every year. It's like,
Yeah.
it's
Except
just so many,
now
and they
it's
make,
like they didn't, like, now they admit, I think, that they send satellites up on balloons, but they didn't before. I think they got, probably because they got caught. And then it's like, oh yeah, some of ours do. It's always like,
yeah, sure, some.
Yeah.
That's just like the amount of money that they make every year is, I don't even remember, millions, billion, probably billions.
But also, I mean, we know that the pictures of Earth aren't a picture, it's a composite of
It literally
multiple
says that. It's an
images.
image.
But still, with the amount of satellites that are up there should be one or two in these composites. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah. And I think like what you posted the other day, of just like did you post the Universal Studios logo?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you posted? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like how that was created before we even went to space and it just
Mm-hmm.
happened to look identical. It's like,
Yeah.
that doesn't, I don't know. It's just so many things. It's like, can we please just like, and
Mm-hmm.
their
I
name
also think
literally means to deceive. So
yeah, it does. And then you think about just how words are used, like to manipulate and stuff. They use the word image. I thought it was interesting. I was looking at NASA's Instagram page, and you go down, and it's I should just look it up, but all the pictures of the Earth and the planets and everything, they're always just like, these are images, and they're telling you like an image is basically an artistic rendition of something. It could be a photo, but
yeah,
why use that word if it is a photo?
that's what I'm saying. It's like on their website that
Mhm.
they're called images, and
Yeah,
it's like,
but then so when I'm on NASA's Instagram page, they have, it's like they're I feel like they're admitting to certain things and they're picking up on what people are like realizing. So there's this post, must be pretty far down. I don't know, I could just explain it. I don't need to show you. You can go look it up on their Instagram page. But I think it's the lady who came down, the one that was on the 2-person thing that got stuck there. And they're
Okay.
putting on some kind of, I don't know, like convention for kids. So there's pictures of the conviction of the thing going on, of it going on, and there's pictures of these real people. You know they're real pictures, but when you go down to their caption of it, it says image 1, and it tells you what's in it. Image 2. So they're using the word image, and it's almost like they've caught on to the fact that we're realizing that the pictures of Earth and these planets that you're showing us, they're not pictures, they're images, and images can be created. And so it's like they're putting the word image to an actual picture now. I feel like it's just to mess with people, like, oh, we call everything an image here. So you can believe that our pictures, our images of Earth are real pictures too, because this is clearly a real picture of people here on Earth, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's just their way of manipulating things. Like, let's take what they're realizing now and like try to manipulate that so that they stop questioning it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's all crazy, and I think I don't know, it's just like in Hebrews 6:18, it says it's impossible for God to lie, and then 2 Timothy 3:16, all scripture is inspired by God. So this is where I just, it's so weird to me when people want to overlook verses. All scripture is inspired by God. Everything matters that he says. He doesn't write anything in there that was just like, oh, they don't really need that, but I'll put it in there. Like, no, like he meant every word that he said, and we should take that literally. And I think it's just like people don't want, it's pride. They don't want to believe that they could have been wrong their entire lives. But it's like, and I guess it's like it's humility of like, I'm going to go against the norm and people are going to make fun of me for it, but like I'm going to choose God.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just what it comes down to, is you have to pick and choose. Like, yeah, you might be mocked. Like Jesus said there would be haters. Like, we all know this. People are going to make fun of you for choosing God already. Like, you're already a target because of that. So why not like go all in and like believe him for every single word he says, and not the ones that make you comfortable. Like, okay, you go to church and you're like, it's still like accepted, right? If you go to like a normal church, but if you take it so far as to believe God at his word in all these
still
things,
does miracles. He still does,
yes, like
X, Y, and
all
Z.
these, he said he was coming back to the people he was going back to. Like,
too crazy.
It's just, if you really follow the words of God, Christians are going to call you crazy. And I just think that's where it comes. It's like people, they want to be like a Christian and like not be made fun of. They want to be
but
cool
always
Christian.
have a foot, like also have a foot in the world. Yeah.
Yes. And
Which
so
like,
it just, you have to just go all in and believe everything and not pick and choose what you want to believe.
And if you're going to say you're a believer and you love the Lord with your whole heart, there's a verse, excuse me, shared at church on Sunday, Colossians 3:4-6. But in that verse, it says, Christ, who is my life. Your life doesn't mean just parts of it, the parts that are comfortable.
All
it's
of it. Yeah.
every single part of your life, I've always loved that verse, because it's like, not even motherhood, not even being a wife, that isn't our life. Our life is Christ.
Yeah, I
and
just
that would
think
mean you believe him at his words.
we've just come to such a different place. I think in like the way that we believe in God, like it's so different than what it was. So it just feels natural and normal to trust him in every single area.
Yeah, it's
and
gotten to a point where it's like, I don't care if it seems weird. If that's what God said, I believe him over anything.
Yeah. So I just think you have to get to that point of like, who cares if most of the world thinks you're crazy?
We're
like,
not supposed to follow the herd mentality.
We're not. And it's like, when we die and we're standing in front of God, it's like, what are you going to wish that you did? Are you going to wish, oh, I should have followed what man said? Or are you going to be like, happy that you chose to follow God no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what people said about you.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
I just think like we have to like get in that mindset of like we're not here forever. Like we're
Yeah.
not here forever. It's so short and it feels long, but it's short. And we just have to not care what people think so much, I think.
Yep. Hold on. I want to trying to pull up just this picture that NASA had. I don't know if it'll let me. I don't
Do
think
you
it's gonna
have
let me,
a
but
peep
it's
on your
so
bracelet?
a peep. Oh, I do. One of my one of
I was like,
my
what is that?
little girls made me this. This is she said this is my podcast bracelet.
Oh, that's so cute.
It has an A for Alex and then a peep. And
Oh my
a M for mom.
Oh, that's sweet.
So
I
I
was
told
like,
her I'd wear it every
really?
podcast.
That's so cute.
But I have this. So when I was looking up on NASA, I was trying to figure out like when their first pictures are. I'll have to share this on our Instagram story, but this is the picture they have on there. And it says, this is the first picture we captured that shows the Earth's curvature. I'm looking at this picture.
Oh gosh.
There is no curvature. I don't even understand. Like,
Huh.
I don't know
Okay,
if they
let's
think
see.
if they just say it enough, it will be
Yeah.
true. I can't show you
probably.
because it won't let
Oh.
me on this for some reason. So I'll put it on our Instagram story once this podcast goes up.
It is probably
But
like they just think if they say it enough times that again, you're just made fun of if you don't believe what they say. So they'll just keep saying it.
yeah. I also just like, again, I just wanted to point out for the people who like, I don't doubt science. I think science is real if it can be tested. I believe in science.
Yeah. Right.
That's the thing. So like,
Yeah.
even when it comes to, like rainbows, there's experiments you can do, and you can create a rainbow with water and a mirror, and it will shine a rainbow in a straight line on your wall. But then if you add in a dome to it, then it will then turn the rainbow into what we know as a rainbow. And I don't know, for those who followed us for like a while back, when I was on my long road trip, I had posted that I saw this crazy thing in the sky. Do you remember? It was like,
yeah.
Like, so I found a video. I'll show this video because I don't have mine anymore. But this is exactly what I saw. And this is exactly, again, it just proves that we are in some kind of a dome. And exactly what I saw.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, there's no other explanation for that, you know?
Yeah, and it's like we don't even have to be right on the exact shape of it, but
we
think
know it's not a globe.
We know it's not a globe based off of the words of the Bible, and I don't know. I just think it's not, obviously, again, not a salvation issue, but
it could be. Because for those who are already saved, it's not a salvation issue. But for those who aren't saved, this is something like, they push the Big Bang and they push Darwinism so hard on NASA's website, even that's what they want you to believe. If we are just this, we don't matter, we're just this ball in space. We as people do not matter. Like, that's what's crazy.
Yeah,
if you're believing this, what NASA is telling you is that you are so insignificant and so little, you don't matter. But that's not what God says about you. He says you do matter. You matter enough that he sent his son to die for you and take your sins away so you could live with him.
He knit you in your mother's womb. Like, he
wants you. He loves you, and he thinks you're special. NASA doesn't think you're special.
Right.
They just want you to believe all these crazy things so that Satan can laugh at you.
I know. I just think, like, with all of it, with everything that we talk about, is like, it's faith. Like, faith is blind. We are following God based off of his words. And it's really easy to just, I mean, even our pastors in church are obsessed with space. You know, like, they're obsessed with it. And so it's easy to follow them because you're like, oh, even my pastor believes this. But it's like, that doesn't mean they're right. And I don't know. I just think faith means something different to me than it meant before.
Yeah,
Like
I
we have
agree.
to follow Jesus, follow
Yeah.
him,
Nobody else.
not just yeah. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's not important, but it is important at
It
the
is.
same
And
time.
it's like the perversion of NASA. Like kids are obsessed with rocket ships and things, right? But we all know, you look at them, they have a very interesting shape and
Mm,
they call it SpaceX for a reason. So kids are saying that. And it's just like the
yeah.
perversion that
Yeah.
they're putting out there and getting kids hyped up on it. It's just like, I don't know. Just
Yeah. I
grosses
mean,
me out.
none of it is pointing towards God.
No.
So it shouldn't be that hard for us to not want to follow them, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Like I don't know
Yeah.
why it's so hard. It's weird.
Yeah, and like we've pointed out so many things, like from the very first verse of the Bible, they are contradicting what our God says. So
I
if you're a
know the
believer and
first one.
it's like at some point as a believer, you at least have to say, okay, I don't like NASA's got to be off on could be off on some things because
Something.
they're off on the very first verse of the Bible.
Isn't that
You know.
crazy? It's like the very first verse. They're already,
Mhm.
it's like our world is teaching you don't trust the Bible
Mhm. And like I said, it's
from
like I
verse one.
understand if you already don't believe in God, the scriptures don't matter to you. But look
No,
at
it
all the
doesn't
other
matter.
stuff that we've shown you where they've consistently been caught in lies, where they mess
Mm-hmm.
up in gravity. I mean, there's so many videos where you see them connected to the harnesses or they're moving objects that haven't
Mm.
been placed in there yet. You know, it's like
It's over and over
it's
again. If you look
mhm.
into it, I think believer or non-believer, if you look into it, you're gonna see there's
Yeah.
too many lies for it to
Yeah.
be real.
I mean, I know
But
so many non-believers. I think I actually know more non-believers who don't
no,
believe in it
really,
than believers, which is insane.
that is insane. Because
Yeah.
as Christians, we should be the first ones to be like,
Mhm.
something's wrong
Oh
here.
yeah.
Something's not right, you
Yeah.
know? So it is crazy. There's so much. I mean, you can watch videos all day on it,
Yeah.
honestly, but we can post some of them on our
Yeah, we'll post some of
story.
them. Once this podcast goes up, I will post some of those. Also, didn't know this is not about NASA, but I don't know if you wanted to talk about because our next few podcasts, we have guests on, so we probably won't get
Mhm.
to talk about this. But I don't know if you guys know this, but the rapture is happening in September. At least
Are we
that's what I've
ready?
heard.
Are we ready, everyone?
I mean, I have
Oh
seen it
my gosh.
everywhere, and it's like I'll see like the undeniable truth, like this is happening. This is happening. It's like
Everyone better
what?
believe because you're not going to be raptured if you don't believe in the rapture.
It's crazy, but you know
So you better
what?
start believing.
I will say what is interesting is the Feast of Trumpets is known to be a feast where people do not know the day or hour because they're waiting like on the sun or whatever,
Okay,
right?
that's what I saw
Very
somebody comment on
interesting.
something. That's what that
Hmm.
means, they said,
And
is
that
the
is
Feast of
interesting,
Trumpets.
but this is the other thing. When we are talking about no one knows the day or hour, that is referencing the day of the Lord when he returns for the final
Hmm.
battle. Although I think we
Yeah.
could argue there are multiple days of the Lord. I think that in 70 AD, I think when his wrath poured out, I think that was also a type of day of the Lord. But that's what he was referencing. No one knows the day or hour. This rapture, there is nothing, there's no signs for it. There isn't even a no, not knowing the day or hour because it's not happening, at least for our time. We went over this in our last one that it is possible maybe there was some type of rapture during that
Right.
time, but
Yeah.
it is
We're
not
not
for us
opposed to
and it
that.
is not a secret. And I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I was seeing all that and I was just like, oh
I
my
know
gosh.
there's so like in September, everybody
Mhm.
get ready.
It's also
coming.
interesting though, because they have been saying that there is this, I don't know if they call it an aircraft, a spacecraft that is getting closer and closer.
I don't think I saw that.
And I'm like, is it the New Jerusalem coming?
I don't think I've seen that. I haven't really been on social media though, so that's
Yeah.
probably why.
Alyssa's been a little under the weather, so she hasn't been able to, but
Yeah. So if you guys want to pray for me.
and everything. But I also just saw the thing. This was long ago, and I guess it's very difficult to come across this picture. But NASA put out a picture that they had from above the Earth, and where the North Pole is, there's like a hole, and there's like 3 different pictures,
I feel like I've
and
seen
there's a
that.
hole in it, and it's like, what are they
Mhm.
trying? Is there really a hole there, or are they trying to hide something?
They're just trying to. I would think they're just trying to hide something.
Yeah, it's very
You
weird.
know? I don't know. So crazy. Just so many things going on
So,
right now.
yeah. So if September comes and you don't see us anymore, see ya.
Bye. I'll be happy to be wrong about that one. That'd be great.
I know that's what's. I was just talking to my husband about this, but it's like the thing about the rapture is like growing up, and I have a reel we're gonna post about this soon, but it's like growing up, I didn't know there was other options. I didn't know that. I thought this was absolutely like indisputable. There was a rapture happening.
100,000%, yes.
And it's just like, and that's the problem, is like we're told that, so you almost don't look to scripture to try to see, if there's anything else.
I didn't even look for the scripture, I would say, until 2020. That was like when I started being like, okay, I want to see what it says.
I also was going to say, hold on, let me. I was going to say about like itchy ear doctrine. They're always, people come at us because we're looking at this verse in Revelation chapter 20, and they're like, this is demonic, and like this is a doctrine that we shouldn't, like, Satan would want taught. Why would Satan want this taught? If he would want anything taught, it would be, if anything is an itchy ear doctrine, and this is coming from someone who believed this. I believed, my hope was that Jesus would come back for me one day and I'd be taken in the clouds. I believe that was my hope. That is an itchy ear doctrine. If your hope is in anything, if your doctrine is telling you your hope is in anything other than Jesus Christ dying and
100%.
defeating sin and death, then that is an itchy ear doctrine.
Yeah.
You don't have to die. Like, it's not sound doctrine if your hope is in anything other than Jesus Christ. And itchy ear doctrine, it's like the poster child of itchy ear doctrine. You don't have to die. You're gonna get taken up into the clouds.
Itchy ear doctrine or itching ear doctrine?
Yeah. Itching ear.
Itching?
Itchy ear? I said itchy. Itchy ear doctrine. It's itchy ear doctrine.
Itching.
It's the same thing.
I was
itching
like,
ear
wait,
doctrine. What? Itching ear doctrine.
Itching, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just throwing me off.
Sorry. Right?
No, it literally, yeah, itching.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just saying it too fast. Itching ear doctrine.
Maybe you're saying it too fast.
Now it's just coming out. Now I'm like, wait. But if anything is like, right, that would be.
No, it literally says that in the Bible. Like, don't look for this stuff. So it's like, if anything is contradictory to what they're saying, and what are they saying? They're saying that he is coming back to them. Like, that is what he's saying. So if it's contradictory to what the apostles are telling you, it's not right.
Yeah, and it's like,
it's just like
the point of like itching. Now I'm gonna be like, is it itching? Let's Google this. Now I'm like,
it's itching ear doctrine.
Isn't that what I was saying?
I thought you were saying itchy.
That's why it was throwing
me off, and I had to ask you.
Itching ear. I thought I was saying that. I could not have been. Who knows?
I don't know. We'll have to listen back and we'll find out.
Itching ear. Yeah, whatever. Itching ear. Itching ears. Itching.
No, I'm gonna say itchy ears.
Now it's
itchy ear doctrine.
Itching ear. Itchy.
Gosh.
Itching ear doctrine. But it's like, the whole point of it is it's like sounds good to you. It's like, oh, that's like, it sounds better than what is really the truth. And the truth is, the rapture's not coming in September.
It's just not. I'm so sorry to tell you. I'm so sorry.
Even if say me and Alyssa are wrong, which, like we said, we'd be happy to be wrong. Just know it's probably, we're going to be here after September.
I'm just like shocked at the amount of people saying it's coming in September. Have we not figured out after all these years that every time somebody predicts the rapture, 0 out of 10, it doesn't happen? You know what I mean? It's just like, why are we still trying to predict it? I'm especially shocked at that one girl who said it, because she doesn't really seem like the type that would be like that. You know who I'm talking about?
She did come out with a video though, and she said, "I'm not saying this is for sure."
Oh,
She
okay.
said,
Because I
"I'm
was like,
just
she doesn't
saying."
really seem like she'd be like that. But
Yeah, no, she clarified. She said, "I know a lot of people are saying this, but she's just saying she's pointing out the Feast of the Trumpets and the
okay.
timing and all the different things."
I just
So.
think like God would never choose to do it at a moment when people thought it would come. Like that's the entire point. Like it's going to come when you don't expect it. So, you know, like
Yeah.
why would he choose to do it at a moment when people thought it was coming? I don't know. I think it's all crazy, and
like
I'm
you
just
said,
happy we're not waiting for that.
everybody who's tried to predict it has been wrong. So
what are we? Yeah.
So why
what
are we still
still
trying
doing?
to predict it?
Yeah. What are we still doing?
Yeah. So I think I mean, honestly, I could show video after video, and there's more scriptures I don't even think we got to. And I would like to go over, maybe we could do the next one, talk about those documents I was saying
Oh yeah, that would
that
be
the
interesting.
government
I have not seen
shows, and
those.
then also going over, I had a whole thing of notes on the early church
Sorry for my
fathers.
dog kicking
Oh,
me
that's
off.
okay. Early church fathers and Pythagoras and the occult, but my notes did not save, so sadly we will not be going over
That
that
is
today.
so sad.
I did go over the one quote, which I thought was probably my favorite of them. But,
Yeah. Well, you said two, and they were both really good, I thought.
yeah, I mean that's just the heart of wicked man, right? Is like make yourself known at whatever cost, even if that means creating a whole world. And like we've said this before, but Satan, he just likes to take what God has made and like make his own version of it. He's a counterfeit, always the counterfeit. So
yeah,
that was his whole goal with the globe earth. But we are going to end with a funny video. I don't know why
it's
this
a good
one
one.
just
It is funny.
chuckle. All right, almost as much as itching and itchy. I'm just
You
here it goes.
As I'm standing here, the Earth is spinning on its axis 1,000 miles an hour. Like if I was God spinning a basketball 1,000 miles an hour. And at the same time it's doing that, the Earth is going in orbit around the sun. And guess what rate of speed? 66,000 miles an hour. 66,000 miles an hour, 1,000 miles an hour. And on top of that, the whole solar system is going through the Milky Way galaxy. And guess what rate of speed? 400,000 miles an hour, 400,000 miles an hour, 66,000 miles an hour, and 1,000 miles an hour. And to top it all off, as that's happening, the whole Milky Way galaxy is tearing through the universe at guess what rate of speed? 2.2 million miles an hour. And that, officer, is why I failed to walk a straight line as you requested a few moments ago.
It just gets me because it's just so perfect because it opens up. I totally thought it was just somebody like trying to prove flat earth and how ridiculous that is. That's just so funny.
I know, it's such a good one.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, I think that is it for today.
Yeah, we did pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't too long.
Yeah, it wasn't. I thought we were going to go on like 2 hours with this one. But
yeah.
All right, everybody.
All right. Yeah, next time we'll be back with a guest. So
yeah,
you're in for a treat.
All right,
we'll see y'all later.